process is to take the information we've gathered at a county as a whole and then a department by department review with recommendations for cost savings and opportunities for consolidation. Now, any questions?
Thanks, Bruce. All right, before we get into the resolutions, I'd like to thank the gentleman from Bellwether, our operational auditors, and also Phyllis Bieri, our county clerk, who recommended them. Today, financial reality has raised its head in Mercer County. This is not something that just has happened. It's been in the making in Mercer County for 30 years. Many of us have been screaming this for the last several years. Many accused us of crying wolf. Why we are here tonight is that we're in a financial crisis. Our county cannot sustain the cost of employees compounded by the cost of health and welfare plans, which are currently 30% higher than similar benefit plans. One employee is getting a greater than 10% wage increase in a county where the cost of living is less than 2 to 4%. Many think government is a bottomless pit of money, which means that as a republic that we live in, we as taxpayers are that money pit. Revenues that the Mercer County government has to spend does not come from an invisible bank. It comes from the taxpayers of Mercer County. State statute limits the county's ability to levy property taxes sufficient enough to pay for the costs associated with increased labor costs, and it is estimated that even if the county was able to raise all tax levies in the general fund to statutory maximum, the increase in available funds would amount to less than $40,000 per year. And remember, Illinois already is the second highest property tax state in the nation. Mercer County Board has no option other than to keep labor costs and associated expenses flat or declining. Our county financial situation is very serious. It's time for difficult discussions on how we address our challenges, and we must explore all options. We're in the process of reviewing county operations to understand opportunities for efficiencies and to update our county fees for services. We've seen that our fees for services were outdated, and those services are being subsidized by the county's property tax levy. Tonight we are taking actions to correct that, and we'll add an additional $60,000 to this year's coffers. We are working to clarify our financial picture and to have a better understanding of our situation and to impact on expenses of potential changes in personnel costs. To be clear, we are exploring all paths that lead to maintaining services for our residents of Mercer County. These may include some changes in how county departments are structured and how they are managed in the growing personnel expenses for the county. This is the time for cooperation and collaboration. This is not a Republican or Democrat issue. It's a my, it's a yours, and it's a your neighbor's issue. It's our problem to fix. We're actively searching for ways to preserve needed county services while maintaining the promise to promote our county growth and lowering the tax burden. We welcome all ideas on how to make these efforts successful. And at this time, I'd like to go ahead and begin discussion of the resolution. The first resolution is a resolution of fiscal emergency. I have a motion to approve this.
I second it.
Second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Joe.
I move that subparagraph 6 on the second page, the word intentionally in the last sentence be changed to internally.
Right. Could modify that. So, paragraph 6, direct the various oversight committees of the county board to work with countywide elected officials and appointed department heads to internally evaluate the need for replacement hiring as vacancies occur.
Rather than intentionally.
Okay. Any other questions? So I have all in favor of the Mercer County resolution of financial emergency as amended?
I still got some
go
discussion
ahead.
for it. On statement 1, Mercer County Board's 2015 appropriations ordinance do not provide funding for salary of the county engineer and other motor fuel expenses. These aren't in our appropriations ordinance. They shouldn't be, since the engineer is paid by motor fuel tax and what's the other? The state fund. Yeah, the state pays for the rest of it. So this was never even to be included in our budget to begin with.
It would not be in the budget at all, even if it was. Matt, could you help me on this one?
Yeah, I think what we've seen in Mercer County is there is a tradition of leaving certain funds out of the annual appropriation and budget ordinance. So, and this is not the only one. The employee benefits and some of the other funds aren't in your budget either. Our interpretation of state statute, though, is that if the dollars come to rest in Mercer County bank accounts, they need to be, both the revenue side and the appropriation side still should be in your budget.
Okay, so you're saying this is just a clerical error on our part?
I think it's a tradition. I think it's an error of tradition, probably, but I don't think it's an intentional oversight. I think it's just, there are certain funds that don't appear in your budget that probably ought to be.
Like the group health insurance fund.
Exactly.
I mean, that's on page 11 of our budget. It's outlined in that, so it was already in the budget. And self-insured fund on statement 9, page 19 of our budget, it's included in there on the budget.
That's the fund, is that the fund balances page? Or is that the actual revenue and?
I think that's revenue and, statement 9, page 19. It has estimated receipts and disbursements, and then below it has a schedule for risk manager, and it has everything outlined in there. Health insurance, liability insurance, all that's covered under that page.
That's the liability one?
Yeah.
Was that on the list on the resolution?
Yeah.
Or just the,
well.
No.
I thought on the resolution specifically referred to the self-insurance plan and the, and that goes a different one.
Yeah, so I'm sure we could probably change our accounting practices to better reflect all these.
Yeah, and I mean, even on that, if you wanted to amend off that last item that lists those other two accounts, that's fine. I think the underlying spirit and intent of the statement, as I understood it, was that there are kind of some traditional budget practices in Mercer County that ought to be updated in both process and practice.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mr. Chairman, am I correct in assuming the first page of this is simply a preamble? The actual resolution is the second page?
That is correct.
And point of order, I've made a motion on the floor. I was waiting on a second to change that one word. That has to be voted on before we can vote for the entire resolution.
Oh, for the internal to internally, or the intentionally to internally?
Yes.
Okay. We'll make a motion to vote on changing intentionally to internally on item 6. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same time. Motion carried. All right, let's take a vote. All in favor of the Mercer County resolution of fiscal emergency, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same time. Motion carried. Next on the docket is resolution for Sheriff's Department fees. This was discussed in the past.
Mr. Chairman, I would like
Correct.
to make a motion that we approve these increases in fees.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Karen, second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried of the Mercer County Recording or Sheriff's Department fees. Next is resolution of recorder office fees. Make the motion pass.
Move. I will
Jeff.
second.
Joe seconds. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of the Mercer County recording fee resolution, say aye.
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 Opposed, same time. Motion carried, the Mercer County recording fees resolution. All right, this time we have public comment. Please leave your comments to 3 minutes. Raise your hand if you'd like to speak. Jason Sussman.
I just want to thank the board for looking out for the taxpayers. It appears that the resolution of fiscal emergency seems to put that in the forefront, and I think a lot of people have forgotten that the taxpayers are really what makes our good county a good county. So I thank you for taking steps to look out for them.
Thank you. Anyone else? Have I make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Any discussions on? All in favor of adjourning the meeting? Aye. Opposed, same time. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.